We cannot take care of this baby too. It's beyond us. You are my brother, no matter how much mischief you do. Now, whether you keep us or throw us out of the house, we are both empty handed.
8 years had passed since the marriage. There was a home, there was a roof over their heads, and there was sustenance. But there were no children's voices in the house. Suraya Begum would often wake up at night and look at the silent rooms, while Yasser would say nothing more than, "Allah will make things better." Then, one day they came, a poor husband and wife, with helplessness in their eyes. In their arms was an 8-day-old baby. They said that they were already carrying the burden of 6 children, and that keeping one more life alive was beyond their means.
We cannot take care of this baby too. It's beyond us.
Suraya Begum took the baby into her arms. The baby immediately stopped crying. In that moment, Suraya felt as if the emptiness in her arms had finally been filled. Yasir said only this, "We will raise this child on our eyelashes." After that day, the house changed. Rumi was put to sleep in a cradle made from loving hands. At the slightest sound at night, Suraya would wake up, and when Yasser returned from the office, the first thing he did was pick up Rumi. Joy returned to the home. Even the walls seemed to be smiling. When Rumi turned 6, he started school. He was very intelligent, cheerful, and loved by everyone. The teachers would say, "This child has a bright future." Suraya was thankful for everything. Then, by Allah's grace, Suraya Begum gave birth to her own son. They named him Miraz. Rumi never felt any jealousy. When he came home from school, he would wake Miraz and play with him. When Miraz laughed aloud, a special light would appear on Rumi's face. The house was once again filled with happiness. Time passed. Both children grew up. School, then college. They had reached their final year of college. During this period, old age began to catch up with Yasser and Suraya. Fatigue set in, and sometimes Suraya's hands would tremble. Rumi had now grown into a mature and intelligent young man, yet he still did not know the true story of his family. He believed that Yasser and Suraya were his real parents, and that Meroz was his younger brother. Meroz was completely the opposite, always mischievous. Sometimes he would hide Rumi's bag, other times he would playfully ruin his things. Yet Rumi still loved him and would say,
You are my brother, no matter how much mischief you do.
In college, a new light entered Rumi's life. Ariba, a simple girl, soft-spoken, yet with honesty and depth in her eyes. Rumi liked Ariba, but he himself was very quiet and timid by nature. One day, in the library, Ariba asked,
Rumi, why do you stay so quiet? Sometimes it feels like there's so much in your heart, yet you remain silent.
Rumi said with a faint smile.
Maybe I don't understand myself yet.
At that moment, Meroz shouted from the library door,
Bhai, I am bringing tea for you. And Ariba, I am helping you too.
Rumi just smiled and stayed. At home, Rumi often stayed up at night working on his computer in his room. Miraz would come in and say,
Bhai, why do you sometimes become so quiet? Are you afraid of Ammi and Abbu?
Rumi would nod slightly, but he never shared the fear inside him with anyone. One day, Rumi and Ariba were sitting on the terrace. Ariba gently held his hand and said,
Rumi, with time, everything becomes clear, and a bond that comes from the heart never breaks.
Rumi lowered his eyes. There was a strange confusion in his heart. In my mischief, I once again hid Rumi's bag and laughed as I said,
Bhai, don't take it so seriously. Enjoy life.
For Rumi, all of this became an emotional roller coaster. One day, Moreau saw Ariba talking to Rumi at the college gate. When they got home, he winked and said,
Ammi, a future elder daughter-in-law is on her way.
Rumi turned red with embarrassment. Soraya Begum burst into laughter.
For the first time, Yasser saw Rumi laugh openly, and from his heart came a prayer. Ya Allah, never let this child be alone. Then, suddenly, Soraya's childhood friend Nimra arrived from the village. At first, everything seemed fine. But when she saw the peace of the home and the children's good behavior, jealousy began to grow in her heart. Gradually, she started whispering into Soraya's ears.
Rumi is not your own. Tomorrow he could become a problem. It would be better to put everything in Miro's name.
Soraya never believed it. To her, Rumi and Miro's were equal. But one day, Rumi, standing behind the door, heard everything. For the first time, he felt that he was not truly a part of this home, only a child who had been raised. Rumi changed. He started speaking less, spent less time with the family, and more time alone in his room. Yasir sensed that his son was hiding something. 3 months later, Rumi handed Soraya Begum an envelope.
Ammi, this is for my food and expenses. I will give it every month. I don't want to be a burden on you anymore.
The envelope slipped from Suraya Begum's hands. That night, she cried a lot. Then came the words that hurt the most. Rumi, you will no longer be Meroz's brother, only a friend.
Silence fell over the house.
A few days later, one evening, Yasir picked up a file and placed it in front of both boys. I have transferred half of the house and the business into Meroz's name because, according to Sharia, he is our blood. Then, handing the second file toward Rumi, he said, and the share that belonged to Soraya and me, we have gifted it to Rumi.
Soraya's voice was trembling.
You may not be our blood, but you are our life.
Now, whether you keep us or throw us out of the house, we are both empty-handed.
Rumi broke down in tears and clung to his parents.
All I ever wanted was your love.
Meraz stepped forward and, overcome with emotion, said,
Bhai, you taught me how to walk by holding my finger. From today onward, never consider yourself separate from us.
That night, there were not only tears in the house. Humanity had triumphed.
And the story leaves one question hanging. If only in our society, children who are taken in and loved were not left helpless once their own children come along.
Even if not by law, at least in love and affection, some rights should surely be given as a gift. If you enjoyed our story, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.